The streets will never make you grow. It's not a seed, it's a gutter. There's no happy endings in this life. So this is my message to you. The streets will never love you back.
Hey guys, well today I got another Deja Vu story for you. Now this story, I'm going back to when I was a kid. Back in the days when I was about maybe 10, 11, 12 years old. Those times. I'm going back 40 years, maybe over 40 years. Now my neighborhood growing up was like the Wild West. And I'm not exaggerating. There was dead bodies all over the place. But there was one in particular club that was located on Bethel Avenue between Bay 17th and Bay 16th. The club was called Deja Vu Club. Okay. It was a social club for members only. It wasn't an old time club. The guys had a younger generation. These guys were real tough guys and they made a name for themselves. You had Jimmy Neck. Jimmy Neck was a guy from the neighborhood, Bay 16th and Benson, and he was one of the guys that would hang out there. You had Satch. Big Satch was a tough guy. Killed a motherfucker in a minute. Had no problem with it. He actually went to jail for killing somebody. Then you had Robert Blasco. Robert Blasco was the owner of the club. He was like the leader of the club. You had Vinny Perdue. Vinny Perdue was a tough guy. You had Ricky. Ricky was good with his hands. He was a boxer. You had the Amari brothers, Frank Amari, Minnie Amari, Mike Amari. Mike Amari used to lift up cars, used to lift them up. And we used to just watch him lift up cars. And his brother Frankie used to fight Quincy. Quincy was a black guy that lived right next door from Deja Vu. And every other week, Quincy and Mike Amari would just bang, bang. They would just fight it out. And sometimes Quincy would get the best of Frank Amari. Sometimes Frank Amari would get the best of Quincy. But that's how my neighbor was. And you had a whole bunch of other guys in there. And they had a dog in there. The dog's name was Shaitan. Shaitan means Satan. And this dog was crazy. I told the story once before about this dog, Shaitan. But this dog used to eat cats. They used to bring other dogs in there. And they used to make them fight. But this was how the neighborhoods were back then. You know, back then when I was a kid, there was a lot of stray animals, I remember. Today, you really don't see a stray animal. If you see a stray animal, you grab it. But in today's day and age, cats and dogs get along with each other. Back then, cats and dogs never got along with each other. And we would be hanging around. There'd be stray dogs walking down. There'd be cats walking down. I'm telling you, the neighbor was crazy. But there was one in particular girl that lived on top of Deja Vu. Her name was Crazy Antoinette. And she was fucking crazy. She really was. She was nuts. Okay? And she was a short girl. And she used to get high every so often. But she would come down. She would come down with a knife. She would poke people. She would fight with guys with her hand. She would grab a bottle, hit somebody over the head with it. And she was wild. She was friends with Pat and Albie. I told the story once before about Pat and Albie. Pat and Albie were these two kids from the neighborhood that were very wild. Eventually they got murdered. But Antoinette used to shoot dope up. And there was a guy that also was in the club. His name was Sal. I'm not going to mention his last name, but he knows who I'm talking about. And he used to date Crazy Antoinette. And him and Antoinette used to go at it. She would come down after Sal would fuck her. Okay, she would come down with the condom after he used it. And she would come down all fucking crazy. And she'd be spinning the condom on her finger. Yeah, you want to fuck me, Sal? You want to fuck me? I'm telling you, that's how crazy my fucking neighborhood was. And there were so many beefs. I remember guys pulling up, okay, in front of Deja Vu and talking to some girls, and guys from Deja Vu will come out with baseball bats and start breaking their windows. Bang! They would break all the windows back then. That's what they used to do. So, the neighborhood was nuts. And these memories, I tell you, throughout the whole neighborhood from Bath Avenue, was everybody was insane. There was always something crazy going on back then. But crazy Antoinette, eventually she dies of drugs. She was really nuts. But just give you an idea how crazy my neighborhood was. Then you had Nick's Candy Store across the street from the social club. And you had an aquarium next door from Deja Vu. That aquarium was owned from some guy named John. His sister was some girl named Joanne. And Joanne was one of the women who got killed with another guy. And that was a scene out of the Goodfellas. But I'm telling you, the neighborhood was crazy. And everyone in the neighborhood was nuts. There was always something going on. There was always brawls going on. Bath Avenue would be fighting 20th Avenue. Bath Avenue would be fighting 13th Avenue. Everyone hated Bath Avenue. And people knew that when Bath Avenue was coming, Bath Avenue wasn't coming just to hurt you. Bath Avenue was coming to kill you. And, if you see the picture behind me, that's some of my friends growing up back in the day. But I got all these photos and memories from when I was a kid. I got PTSD, and that's why I talk about this. And I talk about these memories because some of these memories I loved, and some of these memories really affected me. But I like talking about people because they're no longer here. And I like to keep their memory alive. There was a guy in my neighborhood called Alfredo Temporino. Alfredo Temporino was a sharp-looking guy, a class act, tough guy. He had a brother, Sal Temporino, and Joey Temporino. And they're all dead today. And they had so much potential, every one of them. Sal was, he was around people. Sal was a thief. Alfredo was around people. And I remember Alfredo always wearing the Jordache jeans. And back in the day, the Jordache jeans was the shit. I used to love the Jordache jeans. Like, they were sharp looking, And he always had creases in them. Like, he knew how to dress. And he had the hairdo, the DA. And he was sharp looking with the members only jackets, And these guys were always making money. There was always some way of making money back in the day, whether they were doing a burglary, whether they were doing a stick up, they were robbing drug dealers. But these guys always had money in their pockets, stacks of money. There was always a way to make money, not like today. Today it's a different world. The world has changed in so many ways where everything's so expensive. There's no respect no more. When I grew up fast. I grew up quick. You had to learn, As soon as we left the house when I was a kid, we used to get Charlie horses. Bang. They would punch us right in the leg. Kidding me? And then they smack us in the mouth. That's the way we grew up, But looking back at those times, a lot of my friends ain't here no more. I'm one of the ones that made it, A lot of kids couldn't run as fast as me. Thank God I made the right decision and I got out of that life. But there's so many tales to tell about Bath Avenue. A lot of tough guys on Bath Avenue, and the majority of these tough guys are all dead, and some of them are in prison. So it's not worth it. It's really not worth it. I look back on my life, and I think about me going away at the age of 23 years old. And I think of my mother now, and I say, wow, I know I broke my mother's heart. And I look back, and I wish I could change things, but I can't change nothing. The only thing I could change is myself. And that's what I do every day. I change myself, and I make my crooked path right. And I give you these Beth Avenue stories because I know you guys enjoyed them. And I hope you enjoyed this story. But I'll be coming on again soon. I'll give you another Beth Avenue story. I hope you enjoyed this story. It's a story of people growing up, how you look back on your life and you look at these memories, and these were great memories, but they were also crazy times. But they were better times than they were today outside in the world, the way the world is shaped and formed today. Thank God for my kids. Thank God I got a purpose in life, and I'm blessed by God. I really am. And every day it's about making the right decision, because if you make the right decision, you're going to get far in life. If you make the wrong decision, you're going to go nowhere. But I hope you enjoyed my short tale. I'll see you guys again soon. And with that said, I love you guys. Thank you for always sending me love, supporting me. Please like this video, subscribe to my channel, subscribe to my Patreon channel, and I'll give you another Beth Avenue story soon. I love you guys, and everyone, enjoy your day. Bye, guys.
The streets will never make you grow. It's not a seed, it's a gutter. There's no happy endings in this life. So this is my message to you. The streets will never love you back.